Alright, hi guys, it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. So, time for Aussie Mail Go Live. Sorry, I've just had a message pop up on my Facebook. It made me stop there. If you're out and watching me, please let me know and I will just double check on the comments. Give me a couple of minutes while I bring the right screen up. Okay. Apparently my internet is super slow. Okay, I think we've got people on. Alright, oh my gosh, look at you all, you've all jumped on. My internet's still going blah, 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 blah. Marion and Lisa, who else have we got here? Kim, Jane, Leanne, Cindy, Sue, Shirley, Pauline, Linda's. Wow, lots and lots of people. Susie. Okay. Annette, yes, you're on the right one. Everyone can hear me? Chris, have we got sound?
Yep.
Got sound? Excellent. Susie just said she couldn't hear me, so I was wondering what was going on. Oh, helps to turn it on. It does. All right. Donna, I thought you weren't going to make it, love. Hey, Daryl. All right, fantastic. All right, got a few people on straight away. Beautiful. Okay, well, I might as well launch into this. Oh, excuse my face. We went out today and I've gotten sunburnt and I'm all red and looking more haggard than usual. Hey, Catherine. All right, so we're going to do Snapdragon tonight, which I've marked as an advanced weave. It is a half version 3-in-1 as the base. It's a little bit tricky, and I hope I can show you how to do this properly with the camera. But we will flip over to the next one, over to the other camera, and make a start. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'll just show you the sample pieces that I have done up. Firstly, in 14 gauge. So this is the weave here. This is what I would consider the front of the weave, and the back of the weave is quite different, but I quite like it myself as well. All right, so 14 gauge 5/16 or 7.94 is the size of both of those sets of rings. While I'm not sure I can show it on this camera, but there is quite the twist going on with this weave. It does naturally twist. Okay, 16 gauge 1/4 inch, which is 6.35, 18 gauge 3/16. So 18 gauge one is got quite a lot of twist on it. It doesn't lie quite as well as the other sizes, but it still works in that size. So 18 gauge 3/16 and 20 gauge 5/32. I can lay them all out the proper way and you guys can see them. I think the 16 gauge is my favorite. The 18 gauge is, yeah, it's just a little weird. You can see the 18 gauge doesn't want to lay straight. See how it's got a twist going, and the others are laying straight. Just is fighting that one. And the 20 gauge is quite delicate. Okay, so as normal, we'll be demonstrating in the 14 gauge tonight, so you guys can see. Now we start with half Persian 3-in-1 right leaning. So right leaning is something I've just learnt myself how to do, because I discovered that the way that I've been doing half Persian 3-in-1 for many, many years is actually considered left leaning, which I didn't realize at the time. So I've had to learn how to do right leaning, which drove me insane for a while. Well, what we'll do is we'll start with 3 closed rings and we stack them on top of each other, as you can see here, and pop a twist tie in the middle, holding them so that you can see the eyes that are formed with each ring. And then what we do first, we grab one of our BA rings, our colour 1 rings, and we want to put that through the eye that's formed by, sorry, I'm losing train of thought here. Shouldn't be through the eye, should be around the eye. Around the eye that's formed by the first and second ring. So we just pop that in like that. So our work looks like that. And then taking a second C1 ring. This time we want to go around the eye formed by the second and third ring, but through the eye formed by the first and the second ring. So we go around that eye, through the first one, positioning it up under the first ring that we put in, so it sits underneath. Okay, so our work looks like this. Taking up another bright aluminium ring, again working underneath the ring that we placed previously. We want that to go through that eye that's formed by the second and the third ring, and before we close it, we want to pop on a pre-closed ring. Okay, so our work should look like this. We've got this loose ring on the end. We want to position that so that it sits on the front of our weave, forming up another eye with the ring before it. Taking up a closed ring, an open ring, sorry, feeding it up through the eye that we just formed, and before we close it, popping another pre-closed ring on. Okay, positioning that pre-closed ring so it sits at the front of our weave, forming another eye there. We pop an opened ring through that, pop a closed ring onto our open ring, and close it up. Now I've just noticed that the tutorial I actually sent out to you guys has an error in it, so I'm going to have to resend that tutorial, so sorry guys, but I've just noticed tonight that there's an error there. As I said, I'm not used to working this way with right leaning. So we just go through that eye. So basically you just go through the eye underneath those previous rings, popping a closed one on it and closing it up. Yeah, look, there's more than one way to do this particular weave. This is the way I do it. I tried to keep it in relation to the way that I already do the left leaning. This is the way that I chose to do that. Ultimately, as long as you get there, it doesn't really matter how you got there. Okay. Just add a few more on to make this a bit longer. So just going through the eye formed, the last eye that's formed, making sure you keep underneath this set of rings on the top, adding a closed ring each time. So as I said, this is the way I came up with doing it because I wanted to keep it similar to the way that I already did half Persian 3-in-1 and half Persian 4-in-1. I'm sure there are many other ways of doing it. Okay, just a couple more so I can make sure I've got a nice good length. So through the eye, under that last ring, popping a closed ring on. All right, that should be enough. So there's your half Persian 3-in-1. What I suggest you do now is you remove your twist tie from the beginning and feed it through the N2 weaves, the N2 rings, sorry. Keeps the weave in place and gives you something to hang on to at the same time. I like to do it the same sort of thing on the other end, just to make the whole thing nice and tidy. Rings aren't moving out of position. So I'll just pop another twist tie through there, those last two rings. Okay, so that's your half Persian 3-in-1. Right leaning, you know it's right leaning when you look at the eyes that are formed here and they're leaning up to the right, from left to right. If they were going the other way, it would be left leaning. But for this weave, we need it to be the right leaning. Okay. All right, so this is where it starts to get a little bit trickier. Hopefully I will be able to show you guys what we need to do. Okay, so the first step, we need to take up our coloured ring. We're working with the ridge of the half Persian 3-in-1 facing us. So you've got this side that's sort of scooped, and then you've got a ridge. We're working with that ridge facing us. And what we want to do with this first colour ring is we simply want to go down into those back rings there and just go around the eye of those two rings. So just picking up the back two, not these ones in front, just those back two rings, going around what would be the eye of those two rings and closing them up. Okay. Then we need to flip our work over so that the back faces us. And we want to go down to this intersection of rings here. So this is the first set, this is the second set. So it's the set immediately to the right of this coloured ring that you've just placed that we want to deal with. And we want this ring to come down in through here, down in through the middle of the top, goes down through the eye, coming in underneath the BA ring that's already in place. So if we can do that with the ring, we come down through the top, through the eye there, making sure that we're up underneath that color BA ring that's in place. We then want to keep going so that we scoop up the color ring, and then we want to keep going up so that it goes through the BA ring on top, and then we can close it up. So I'll just show you that again. We go to the interconnection, the set of rings here, the interconnecting rings here, just to the right of our colour ring. That's how we know the spot that we want next. We're going to go down through the top of these rings here. We go down through the top, through the eye that those two rings there form, making sure we go underneath the BA ring that's already in that eye, picking up the colour ring, coming up and going through the ring at the top, the BA ring at the top, and then closing that up. Okay, and your work should look like this. So this is the back, which is sexy in its own right, and this is the front. Okay, so once you've got that in place, we turn back to the front, and we want to go just trying to get this in the right spot. Sorry guys, just double checking my work here. Yep. All right, so we want to go count down 1, 2 from where that last colouring was. We're going to go around that eye like we did before. We want to scoop up into the first, where we were first off, through that eye there. So we're going around this eye here, going through the eye formed here, keeping in front of the silver ring that's already in place. So we want the silver ring to be between the two colour rings. So I'll just show you that again. It is tricky. So we go down 1, 2 sets of eyes. We want to go around this first set here. We want to come up through the second set, making sure we keep the silver ring, the BA ring that's already in place, behind, so that we've got a ring separating the two colour rings. And we close it. Okay, then we flip our work over to the back again. We do what we did before. We go down to the intersection here, or the intersecting rings, one down from where our coloured ring is. Again, we go down through the top, going through the eye, underneath that silver ring that's already in place. Don't go in front of it, go behind it. Pick up the colour ring that we just put in, and then up through the silver ring that's already in weave. And we close that up. Okay, I'll do it again for you. It is complicated. It's not an easy weave. That's why I've put it in advance. It actually took me quite a few days and lots of very bad words to basically reverse engineer this weave, because there's just this picture on Maille that I worked off. Chris can tell you how grumpy and not nice I was while I was doing it. All right, so we're looking back here at the front again, and we want to count down 1, 2 for our eyes. So we're going around that first eye. We're going through the second eye, making sure we come up in front of the silver ring that's there, so that we've got a silver ring between the two colours. And we close that up. So it looks like that. We flip it over. We go down to the set of the eye here, just to the right of the colouring that we've put in. Okay, we're coming down through the top, through that eye, making sure we go behind the silver ring that's already in place in the weave, through the colouring, up through the silver ring, and we'll close that off. Okay, so back of your weave should look like this, front of your weave like this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just do our little giveaway tonight. Chris, did you come up with a question?
No.
Oh.
Had a bit of a lame one. That could be, what way do they like their potatoes?
Oh, okay. Chris, who is currently doing most of our cooking at the moment, wants to know which way do you like your potatoes? So the prize this week will we give a bag, say 10 bags of BA, random sizes, random gauges. We'll pick a handful out and throw them in a packet for you. So 100 grams in total. You like them cooked? Yeah, which way, Lisa? Be a little bit more helpful than that. This is my future dinners we're talking about here. So pop in the comments what way you like your potatoes done best, whether it's chippies or hash browns or mashed or baked or whatever. And we'll put you in the draw. We'll draw your name out tomorrow morning and we'll let you know. So that's 10 bags of BA rings, various sizes, and we'll send those out. So this is only while we are live with the feed. So just pop in there your answer and we'll assign you guys a number tomorrow and we'll randomly draw that out. All right, so while you guys are doing that, I will just weave up a few more of this for those that are interested. Okay, so we're back at the front again and we're going down 1, 2 in the eyes. So 1, 2, we're going around that eye at the back, coming up through the middle of the first eye there, making sure we've got the BA ring that's in place behind so that we've got a BA ring separating the two colours, and we close that ring up. Okay, we flip that over so that we've got the back facing us, and we want to put the rings around through this eye here, so the one immediately to the right of the coloured ring that we've just placed. Okay, so we go down through the top, through that eye, making sure we go behind the silver ring that's in the eye already, bringing up the colour ring, picking up the silver ring that's on the top there, and closing it up. Okay. Flipping back to the beginning, our weave looks like this. We go down 1, 2 eyes again. Going down through the top, we feed the colour ring around the eye at the back, bringing it up through the next eye, making sure this time it sits in front of that BA ring, and we close it up. Flipping it to the back, coming down to the eye here directly to the right of the coloured ring we just placed, coming down through the top into the eye, making sure we come up behind that silver ring that's already in there, through the colour ring, and then up through the silver ring above it to the left, and we close that up. Now, as I said earlier, there is a mistake in that tutorial I sent out. Guys, I am sorry about that. I didn't notice it until I sat down tonight. Step 3 says to feed your ring through the eye when you actually need to feed it around the eye. So I do apologize for that, and I will fix that up and send a new tutorial out to everybody that received a copy of that. Okay. The eyes that you go through. The eye itself is made up of, there are 3 rings in there. I don't know if I can get in close enough. So you've got this ring here and this ring here that forms the eye. You can see the eye here being formed by those 2 rings, and then you've got this ring that's intersecting that eye. You can't get it any closer than this. So when you come down, you're coming down through the top. I'll get this out of the way. And you're going through so you're going through that intersecting ring, coming up behind it through the eye. I don't know if that makes it any better, Silver. Okay. Do you guys want, are we right with that? Do you want me to show you one more? I'll do one more. I don't have to extend the chain any further. I'll just do one more set of coloured rings. Behind the ring that's intersecting it. So when we're at the front, actually I'm not even going to be able to do that. I haven't made it long enough. We go around the eye and then through the eye in front of the silver ring, and then you close that up. But when you're going on the other side, you're coming down through the eye from the top and behind the silver ring this time. I don't know if you can see that. So you're coming down through the top. You can see that path. It goes down through the eye there, in behind the silver ring. Okay. All right, hopefully that's clear. If not, let me know. Does a 3-in-1 all want to unravel? No, 3-in-1 doesn't want to unravel, Leanne. Something's gone wrong there, I'd say. Once you've started the 3-in-1, the first few are unstable, but once you've started it, once you're a few in, it should be fine. It doesn't unravel at all. Okay. I'm not sure if I've missed any other comments. Okay.
Except everyone see how complicated it is and was moaning.
Oh. All right. Hopefully you'll get that. It is difficult. I did mark it advanced for a reason. Once you've got the pattern in place, it becomes quite easy to do. But it's just seeing that pattern in the first place. You'll be fine. Okay, fantastic. All right, Chris, can you turn the sail on? Are you able to do that? All right, so we've got our, it's all right, I'll do it.
Sorry.
I'll do it.
I didn't hear you.
I've got it. We've got our sale on tonight, guys. It's just, I've just clicked it over, 7:30. 15% off all our budget aluminium scales. So that's good for an hour. We will close that off at 8:30 tonight. Make sure your carts are finalised before 8:30. We will be closing it down. So our happy hour sale tonight is 15% off the anodised aluminium budget scales only.
Jane's asking if you mentioned what the price was.
Yes, I did. It was 10 bags of bright aluminium, random sizes. So 100 grams in total. I'll just send out 10 random sizes. Okay. For confusing nearly everyone. All right, well, I even confused everyone even more by sending out an error in the tutorial, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. I will fix that up and get that out to you tonight. So everybody that received tutorial as part of the subscriptions, I will send a new one out to you tonight. I do apologise for that. I don't know if anyone tried to do the weave in advance. I'm sorry if I totally mucked it up for you. Okay, so that's it for this week. So that's Snapdragon. Any problems or issues, post your questions on Aussie Mailers, and we'll try to help you out the best we can. The video gets confused. I'm reading Lisa's reading Lisa's post as I'm saying it. Video gets saved, so you can go back and watch it again and again. But any questions or anything, just ask on Aussie Mailers, and hopefully we'll be able to help you out there. So that's it for this week. Next week is a whole new weave again. That one's not as confusing. It'll be a little bit easier for you guys, so that'll be great. So on Wednesday we'll put that event up on our Facebook page. Our guys that are part of the kits subscriptions will get their copy of the PDF as usual on the Wednesday, and then our PDF subscribers will send that out to you Friday night. So everyone should have their copy before we start. Subscriptions is still open for next month's kits, so if you're interested in doing that, you've got until the 15th of this month to subscribe for October's kits, and I think that might be it. So I will let everyone know tomorrow who won the prize, the 10 bags of BA rings. So I'll put that up on our page, let you all know that. And we will catch you next week. So I hope everyone isn't too confused. I'm really sorry if it was difficult. I hope I explained it well, but ask any questions on Aussie Mailers and we'll help you out. All right, guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week. All right, take care. Bye.